What's going on, everybody? It's Fandom Empire Live, episode 1 of 2022. A lot of shit stuff is happening all over the world, so let's try to use tonight to focus on the positive and talk about some positive things and just have a good time. Kieran will be joining us shortly. He's doing the daddy thing, and he'll come on in and have a good time with the rest of us. First up, 2022. You missed last week's show. Later on in this show, he's going to give his list of best movies of 2021's Mr. Mike Bish. What's going on, man?
Going good, man. Good start to 2022. Outside of the fact haven't been feeling the best the past couple of days, but I'm trying to push through. Shout out to Johnny. Thank you for your Packers for taking care of business. Not that I had any worries at all. Kirk Cousins or no Kirk Cousins, but outside of that, man, I'm ready to get into it. Ready to dive into it. It's going to be a good show. I was bummed I couldn't be on the show to give my list, but glad I'm on tonight and able to do that because I'm sure my list differed from a lot of your lists. So,
yeah, it's a little different than mine, but there's some similarities on there for sure. I won't say where the Fear Street movies come in for you. I was a bit surprised one of them wasn't a little higher. I have to admit, I thought you were a little more positive on it than that. I mean, hey, it made your list of top 10 movies. But Mike, before we came on today, you and I were talking earlier, and you mentioned 2021 as, you know, there were some decent movies, but it was really a year for TV.
Yeah, I mean, I sat down last week to make my list before last week's show, and I think, I watched really all of the movies. I wrote down all of the movies that I watched that, came to my mind immediately, and I realized that it was only like 13 or 14 that came to my mind. So making my top 10 wasn't hard. I guess placing them on that list was the hardest part. But there were actually a few that made my list that I had no expectations for or didn't think, not along those lines of not even thinking it would be close to a top 10 list or a top 5 list that I really, really enjoyed. So
I was really, really tempted, even though it wasn't a movie, to put Midnight Mass on my list. But I figured Tommy and I already pissed Kieran off by having Bo Burnham's Inside on there, even though basically every fucking critic in Hollywood has Bo Burnham's Inside on their top 10.
I did see that because I watched the show. I watched last week's show a few days ago, so I did see that you had that on there.
Yeah,
I have no problem. I have no problem with that. So.
Yeah, it's not a typical movie, but in a way, it sort of comes off like that if you actually watch it start to finish. So, also joining us tonight, he did not give his list last week. He's back this week. I think he said he just fell asleep through the show last week. Not that the show was boring, because I thought it was
before the show
last week. He fell asleep before the show. What's going on, man?
Not.
You're a fantasy football winner.
That is correct. Yet again. This year I won the belt, not the trophy.
Wait, have you lost? Oh, so you didn't win the trophy?
I didn't win the trophy. I didn't get to go back to back. I would have, but Corey and his pencil neck geeks knocked me out in the semifinal. And of course, in finals week, I set the league high score for finals week, and that's how it usually goes. But I digress. I did win Dynasty, so I got to beat Corey there, and that's the important thing. First guy to win both of our 2 leagues, so I'm okay with that. Third time with the championship win, back-to-back years, 3 wins in 4 years. I'm okay with that. Some might even say I've got a little dynasty going on.
We're gonna talk about Scream a little bit tonight. I know it's not on the show notes, but we're gonna talk about Scream a little bit tonight. We'll get to that. I see the chat going on about Scream. Don't worry, we'll bring it up because there's definitely some questions about what's going to happen with it. First up, though, you might have tuned into our Patreon stream the other day, and if you did, apologies. This guy had to leave early, but he's back. He made it, and he's ready to fucking tear into people. Actually, I don't know if he's ready to do that, but it's Tommy B. What's going on, man?
Oh, right when I was taking a fucking drink. Oh. I don't know, it depends who I'm going to tear into. I got a problem with all yous people, all you. You, and especially you. Everyone.
half the time he was
Oh,
just pointing in random
yeah.
directions
Right?
there. I don't know.
I don't know if he would have been like, "Hey, you and you and you," might have given me a better idea.
Maybe
You
I
know
was
what?
pointing
You
at the
mentioned that.
audience. Maybe it
We
was
should-
for show.
We should make
There
our
was
goal
four of them,
this
right?
year. Our goal this year should be to do a Festivus show on each other at the end of the year.
I'm game for that.
I'm so
game for
game
that.
for that.
I fucking I mean, you saw I did a little
Festivus
nothing
post.
serious, but a Facebook post, and you went and did the same
Yeah,
thing.
copy it.
I turned on. I was bored on the 23rd, so I went and I turned on that episode. I just remembered we watched it when I was down or up there rather. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go turn that shit on.
Jade says, Tommy, as you were saying you over again, Jensen's sitting here like me. LMFAO. He must be watching us.
Nah, I don't got nothing. I don't got nothing bad to say about the little dude.
What's
Nothing
going
bad.
on, J-Man? Hopefully all's well, dude. It's been far too long. We'll have to do something soon. Hopefully you're keeping well. Yeah, so fellas, we got a jam-packed show tonight. I think just to maybe rearrange the show list here as we're trying to buy Kieran some time to get on for this. Why don't we address your guys' top 10 lists now from the movies of 2021? That way, if Kieran sees something he doesn't like, he doesn't take up 20 minutes of airtime yelling at you guys. So, all right, here we go. From the Bish. I see I fucked up on the graphic. At 0 is Concrete Cowboy. That's supposed to be 10. The one is up above. Mike, this is your list, dude. What made you decide on this? I gotta say, I thought with your defense of 1666 earlier on, it might be higher on your list.
Yeah, it's still very, very good. I mean, I would say, unlike you, I watched. No. I'm just saying, the more I watched it, the less it went down on this list. But I did like it a little bit more than 1994, obviously. And then obviously I just love 1978 just for that time frame, and it just felt like that old school slasher film that I fell in love with. And then just looking at the list, I can count right now 1, 2, 3, 4 movies that I didn't think would make the list. That would be Concrete Cowboy, The Harder They Fall, both star Idris Elba, which he did awesome in those movies. And honestly, watching the previews, I didn't think I would like those movies, but I did. And then once I laid out my movie list, they did crack my top 10. Ghostbusters Afterlife, even though I was kind of looking forward to this movie, I'd never been a huge Ghostbusters fan. And I really, really loved what they did with this film. It's such a great film. And then number 3, cracking my top 3 is King Richard. Obviously, you have a chance to. Any movie has a great chance to be a great film when it's Will Smith. But it just kind of took me by surprise, and I love the way that they went with it. The story that they told in that film was phenomenal. And then obviously rounding out my top 10 being number 1 is Far From Home. And yes, I said Far From Home.
I didn't realize I didn't change that on your list.
Oh, that's painful, Sean. You just lectured him about it.
My bad, dude. Well, you know what? It doesn't get any better on Johnny's. So,
Oh my god.
the Fizz's list.
I literally pointed out to you like 30 seconds after I sent the list that that's a typo and not supposed to be there.
Hey, I did the
Did you-
same thing.
I just need to check something real quick. Did you put a dash between
Whoa.
spider and man?
Whoa, Johnny. No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you explain your list, and I gotta ask you a question.
Well, let's start with the fact that when I was putting this together, I literally realized I'd only seen 10 movies that came out in the year 2021.
Okay, that's fair.
So
then.
it was
That's totally fair.
Pretty simple list to put together once it actually came down to it. I
Mhm.
mean, there was a bunch that came out late in the year that I hadn't had a chance to see, like Ghostbusters and the new Matrix movie, and things that I had wanted to see that I just kept putting off, like the Fear Street movies. But
Yeah.
once it actually came down to it, there were 10 movies that I'd seen that came out in 2021, and this was them. I mean, I don't know. It seems pretty straightforward to me. I mean, I don't.
I'm pretty. Red Notice was good. I think that's a little high. I'm shocked to see Spiral on your list, but if you only seen 10 movies, like I totally get it.
I actually really liked that, and even if I had seen more than 10, I think it would have made it.
Okay, I thought it was solid. I didn't walk out of there hating it. I think I gave it like a 6.5, 7. Like I thought it was solid.
Yeah, it was a good. It's probably the best of all of the Saw movies in a post John Kramer world, which I like.
Much.
No, it's not saying much, but I mean, it's still, I really liked it. I liked Chris Rock. I liked Sam Jackson, and it was really good. It was a Saw movie without Jigsaw that actually worked, and that's a difficult.
See, I was really Concrete Cowboy came in at 10 on like just recently, like right before I sent. Originally, I had Candyman at 10, but that extra week gave me time to rewatch a couple films, and that's why Concrete Cowboy came in at 10 for me. I liked it a little bit better than Candyman, even though I loved Candyman. I thought Candyman was really good. Matt wouldn't know, but I thought it was good.
I never got to see Candyman, never got to see Matrix. I heard it wasn't very good, though.
Yeah, same for that.
I did see Spiral, and I didn't like it at all. I thought the pacing was awful in it. I think if it would have been even as a standalone movie, I think it's paced terribly. And when the movie's paced bad, I have a really hard time getting into it.
I was a little nervous about Chris Rock in that film, but he didn't bother me. I thought he did good.
I didn't think he was bad. I don't know if he was great, but I
wouldn't say great.
Okay, he was believable. I don't think he was the problem with that film, but I also think that film would have been better if it just stood on its own. I don't think you needed to attach Saw to that movie to make that movie, and I think it would have been better off without it. I think there's a lot of movies out there. I've been thinking about this lately a lot, even though as a Halloween fan and as a Star Wars fan, obviously I want to see more content. But man, it really brings us back to what one of the friends of the show says, Dave McRae, the more you make these things, the more likely, maybe not guaranteed, but the more likely it is the quality is going to either just stay level or start to dip. Rarely does it go up. But I'll give Johnny's point this. I've seen most of the Saw movies. I think I might have not seen one or two, and it's definitely better than everything. I'd say it's better than everything post 2, to be honest.
I think so. I like the first two a lot.
I'm not sure.
That's pretty much everything post John Kramer, though. I mean, he does die. He does
3, right?
3, yeah.
I can't remember.
I mean, a whole chunk 2, 3, 4 all kind of take place in this weirdly convoluted timeline that they're all sort of happening simultaneously. Specifically, 3 and 4, I think, that are literally happening simultaneously, and it's weird. Things don't make sense until you see, the next one in line. I mean, I watched them all. Marathon around Halloween time because it's a movie series, and what the heck. You're not always going to binge the obvious Halloween movies. Sure, I could watch Friday the 13th or the Halloweens or the Nightmare on Elm Street, but let's watch something a little different this year. So I saw.
So I knew Quiet Place 2 was going to make my list. I just didn't know where I was going to put it.
That's another movie I didn't see yet.
It was I knew it was going to be very high on my list, but I wanted to go back and rewatch it because that was the first film that I saw when the movie theaters opened back up. That was literally one of the first movies that came out once theaters opened back up. So I didn't want that to play a factor. I didn't know how big of a factor that played. So I rewatched it again. And I just thought it was a great film, and it came in at number 2 for me. I liked it better than the first one, and I thought the first one was great.
Tim Matthews, Godzilla vs. Kong, not on your list, pure fun. I haven't seen it.
It's good.
Have not seen it. So
I'm not a huge fan of kaiju films, just in general. They've never really been. They've never been my cup of tea. I mean, I don't hate people who like them. I don't hate their existence. They're just not.
See, Godzilla and Kong is one that was right outside of my top 10 too. But I thought it was very good. I don't know if it was because my expectations were a little lower for that, because I don't know. I just didn't have high expectations for it. I didn't go. No, I did go. I'm trying to. I can't remember if I saw that in theaters now or not. I want to say I did, and it was awesome, to be honest. But it didn't crack my top 10, but I did like it, and I didn't think I was going to be a huge fan of that film.
I don't think people would be happy with what my favorite Godzilla film is.
You're a Matthew Broderick guy, aren't you?
I absolutely am. I think that film is
of the Godzilla movies released in my lifetime. It's probably my favorite too. But It's not.
not like an Academy Award winning movie or anything, but it's one hell of a popcorn flick. Like, it's a lot of fun.
That's the best description for it, though, is a popcorn flick. Yeah.
Yep, but all the Fear Street movies made my top 10. I thought about grouping them, but then again, I was like, I really haven't even seen that many movies to group them. Now, if I was like at like 17, 18 movies that I saw this year, I might have thought about grouping them together. But outside of that last film, I think especially that second film, could be a standalone, honestly. But
Brad sends in a $1 super chat. Thank you, sir. If you want to send a comment in along with that, don't bother sending another super chat. Just send in the comment and we'll put it up on screen. By the way, if you want to support the channel on that level, I know we haven't been pushing nearly as much anymore, just because of how much money Google takes. You can do so by sending in a super chat. Your question and or comment will be read on air as long as it's within reason. But the number one way to support us is Patreon. Patreon.com/Fandom Empire. The link's in the bottom left-hand corner, or at least the address. And we had a really fun Lampkin Lane this past Sunday, and that was actually a preview for all Patreon members. Usually Lampkin Lane is just for Lampkin Lane and above, and it'll go back to that this upcoming Sunday. So looking forward to that. But he's here. Mr. Kieran, what's going on, man?
Not too much. Just really quickly rushed back from my daughter's hockey game. For some reason,
haunting dreams.
They were off for 3 weeks, and then they were on for 2 days, and then they were off, and then they're going to be off again for another 3 weeks. We got an awesome 2-day period where we got one practice and one game, and then into lockdown.
And then you snuck out to haunt the dreams of people.
And then this fucking disaster hit us. So.
And I did. I had to stop for a booster juice. That I told my daughter yesterday that was part of the deal.
Booster juice is awesome.
What is booster juice?
Healthy for you.
It's a smoothie
like
place.
Tropical smoothie?
Yeah, I got a pomegranate passion superfood.
I go with the Very Berry, the Warrior Booster. Love the Very Berry.
Is that something that like looks the same when it comes out as it does going in, or
refilling?
I'll send you a picture, Tommy. I'll send you a picture.
It's usually not something I concern myself with when I'm discussing foods or drinks with people, Tommy. But I mean, if that's information you need, I guess.
I mean,
they're talking about fucking blended shit. Like, what is this super?
Oh, it's blended fruit.
You go and shred up avocados and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Interesting.
That's called guacamole, Tommy. That's a whole different thing altogether.
Oh God, look, I've seen some stuff when it comes to smoothies and all. My dad went through a weird I'm gonna still smoke lots every day, but I'm gonna have a smoothie, so it's okay. And
gotta balance out those evils.
Shit. He made some weird shit.
Apologies.
Nice
stuff.
I'm causing Sean to drink. There we go.
Literally.
That's not.
This is what I need to get through a show with you.
I don't know what to do with a clean-shaven Sean.
That's not juice in that cup.
No, it's not juice. Keep it away from the.
It looks like half your face is missing to me. Like, I don't think I've ever seen you this clean-shaven.
Just fucking Malik from Knights of the Old Republic, just literally is missing half of his face. I could do it.
It's odd. It's like when I found out Tommy had legs.
Yeah, shocking revelation. Tommy legs. It's a thing. All right, let's dive into this, guys. 2022 for Fandom Empire is going to be a year that does all different things. Look, off the top, I'm going to ditch the music here for a second, just because I might come across sounding like a bit of a prick while talking about this. We got a message the other day on our YouTube channel, and the guy who sent that message is in the chat, and he didn't mean anything bad by it at all. We had a good back and forth, but Keith, who's in the chat, said stick to Halloween, but then provided reasons why to stick to Halloween, and some of his reasons were definitely very valid. So it's not a shot at Keith by any means. He handled it in a very respectful manner. But there are other people who have messaged the channel, and maybe that you don't see as much anymore, that have been stick to Halloween, stick to horror, stick to Halloween, stick to horror. It's unfortunate that I have to repeat this, but apparently I do. The channel is titled Fandom Empire, not Halloween Empire, not Horror Empire. Well, we provide a focus on Halloween content, and we'll continue to do so in the most fair light we can. We're not going to spew a bunch of fucking positive shit and gold stars just for the sake of doing it. If we hear something we don't like, we're going to treat it that way. This has never been just a Halloween channel. It has been the primary content. And guess what? After this year, that shift will probably focus. That focus will probably shift to, geez, that drink must be strong. That focus will probably shift elsewhere. So
we're going to go with Tommy's focus, which is shit. He just wants to know what shit looks like. What'd you eat and how did it turn out?
The way we look at it is this. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about GoldenEye, which is a classic game from the Nintendo 64. Rumor has it sounds like it's going to get re-released. I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm sure Johnny's a little stoked about it. I don't know if anybody else has played GoldenEye here. It literally paved the way for the games you see today, a lot of them, the Call of Duties and all that. But like, we're going to talk about the things we want to talk about. It's not that we don't take the audience's attention and wants and needs into consideration, because of course we do. You guys started talking about Scream in the chat tonight. It wasn't in the radio note, or I read Keith's chat. It wasn't in the show notes, but we're still going to bring it up anyways because you guys are talking about it in the chat. However, we're not going to just be a Halloween channel. And if you guys like things that aren't Halloween too, and other horror related things and movies and TV shows and whatnot, we have a whole ton of shit coming up for you. And if you don't like that stuff, then just tune in during the Halloween content. But don't leave messages, stick to Halloween, or I'm not tuning into anything else, because that's your decision. That's not ours. Whether it's 200 people that we're streaming to or 40 people like right now, we're going to do what we want to cover. And if people like it, great. And if they don't, then, well, oh, well, that's the way it is. Just wanted to be clear on that. No amount of harassment or needless bitching is going to change the channel to just a Halloween channel. Plus, if it was just a Halloween channel, there'd be a lot of negative content coming out right now. With that said, why don't we start here? Actually, before we go there, I'll let you guys have a say. Any thoughts on that? And the people that, really want just Halloween, that's great and all. And we have a Patreon program. If you want a couple of exclusive Halloween shows, we're going to talk about them here in a second. But in terms of the YouTube channel, it's used for all fandom things. If any of you guys want to put in your 2 cents, feel free to do so.
Yeah, I'll just be pretty blunt. If all we talked about was Halloween, I'd be pretty fucking bored, and you'd probably see me a lot less. Like, I mean, lately I've been here like once a week because we've had to taper down on some other stuff.
That's all any of us have been.
Yeah, well, but I don't know, several months ago or whatever, it was sometimes 3-4 times a week and whatever. Yeah, that would never happen ever again. Just, I mean, not only the fact of there's not Halloween news every day, there just isn't. It's just you could probably get horror stuff every day. You could definitely get that, but just Halloween stuff. And like you said, it would mostly just be all fucking negativity. I don't know about you all, but I could be a fucking negative Nancy as anyone else. Anyone's brother, sisters, mothers, roommates, aunts, uncle, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know what I'm saying.
Say it with your chest.
Oh, well.
I agree with that, Tommy. I get what you're saying. I'm not saying we're never going to have 3 or 4 streams in a week again, because we definitely will. But the consistency that we had 3 or 4 streams a week for 5 or 6 months, that may never happen again. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but it's not in the cards right now. We have a lot of content coming this year, but it's going to be very spaced out. Mike, Johnny, Kieran, anything you guys want to add? You guys are just as us.
It doesn't make sense for us to just do Halloween because we have so many things we're excited about that we want to talk about. And, we don't make $100,000 here. We're doing this partially for fun too, right? If it was our job to only report on Halloween and we made a killing off of it, then that kind of mandates what you're going to do. But right now, it's as much as it's we're looking to grow our viewership and stuff like that. We also need to have fun, And I know Mike Bish wants to talk about Star Wars every week, so I'm sure Tommy wants to talk about wrestling every week. I don't know what Johnny doesn't want to talk about because he seems to be interested in everything, but it's got to be fun for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. We gotta have some vested interest in this. Obviously, there is a little financial vested interest in this for us in the Patreon program. And then we do something like we did last year where Tommy comes up to Canada for the better part of a week. Keith said, I just saw your 6-minute Halloween Ends update had 11 million views.
Good job, Sean.
It's got about 12,000 views, which is good for us. But no, 11 million probably would have gained a few more subscribers. So, wow, that'd be something. Imagine if it was just like sitting there at 11 million and we somehow had crossed like 20,000 subs and just like it all went unnoticed because of the holiday. Jerry Ramey sends a $10 super chat in. If Jason Blum asked you to reboot the franchise, how would you do it, gentlemen? That is a loaded fucking question. Oh
yeah, that's pretty loaded. I would I'm not going to dive deep into it because we got a long show, but I would just say I would pick up after 4. That's where I would go. I'm not a fan of 5. I know Kieran would probably pick up after 5. I don't know what he would do, but I would pick up after 4. I think there's a lot that you can do with that. I would personally bring back Danielle Harris for that. I mean, it just works out. Maybe Sean's keep coughing like that. He's going to be dead and won't be seeing it. But that's where I would go.
Fuck, that was deep.
I would have 100%. I would have never made a Halloween movie that didn't have Loomis in it. Really, really hard to fill those shoes. I get it, but Halloween for me is really a lot more about Loomis versus Michael than it is about Laurie running away from Michael. So I never would have taken that part out of it, and I probably would have rebooted it from the start. I wouldn't have continued it from H2O or 4 or any of the other popular fan film jumping type points, but definitely would have recast Loomis and ran with it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm in the same.
I was just gonna say that's how I feel too. And I'm a big fan of Jamie Lee Curtis and the storyline, but now it's definitely to the point where that's just getting very watered down. That's why I think there's a lot that you can still do with Danielle Harris and that storyline and picking up from 4. But I agree with you as far as the whole Loomis thing. It's hard to do. I think that honestly, the next best storyline for me was, Danielle Harris. So that's where I would go.
So, the bit that Wham, the We Watched a Movie guys do with Loomis and Michael Myers, and it's almost like they're it's a bad buddy cop.
No,
those
I don't
guys
watch
do.
them.
I do that, but actually make it funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get their sense of humor, but I would totally, if they wanted to just do a comedy bit with Halloween, I could see like a buddy cop thing. That's just stupid. Not necessarily the way Wham does it, because I don't know if a lot of their stuff would make it to the big screen without with getting a rating and stuff. But seriously though, I like Mike's idea. Go do a proper continuation to Halloween 4. Halloween 4.
I think a proper continuation for H4 is something that everyone's wanted. It's something official for a very, very long time. But besides that, I think I'm more in the mind of like what Kieran was saying, do a total restart. When I say total restart, I mean you watch like what Rob Zombie did, but better, like actually good. I mean, I always say I think Rob Zombie's film would be good.
Wait, so you want to just do a restart with Laurie again with a new person, or would you rather new characters?
No, completely new everything, new circumstances. I mean, if you had to do like Michael went away in, a sanitarium asylum for so many years, you just redo the family dynamics and all that and start fresh. Just change everything. But with all that in mind, could we also talk about, and not really talk about it, just like I would still love to see like a season of The Witch remake, and
I still think that's
something to
better
follow.
fit for a TV series. That's
Well,
what I would do.
I don't think we ever said this had to be movies, did we?
I don't remember if that was in the question or not. If it had to be a movie.
I don't think so. I mean, I just think it would be good to see them move off of the lore. You know, that whole entire you know, that storyline. I mean, I would love to see Michael, you know, be involved with totally different characters, and we saw that really one time, and that was in 4, and then obviously 5 and 6. But I don't know, man. I just think that whole, like I said, that storyline's watered down. I like it. I like her. I don't complain about her too much, but I just think it's to the point where you just got.
I got the answer. I know the answer. We'll start a brand new, timeline, brand new Halloween canon with a new Michael Myers, and we'll introduce the Michael Myers multiverse. You're calling the Michael.
Oh my god!
The Michael verse. You'll get all the fucking canons coming together in the same fucking movie. You get the scene where they pick up the mask, but it's the Michael Myers mask.
You got that kick someone out of the show, Sean? You got that handy?
Yeah.
I just get very nervous about like them starting with even though I want them to go a new route and start with a whole different new cast. It scares me because when I think about an entirely new cast, I think of Resurrection.
Yeah,
and I don't
that eyeliner in Resurrection, and
I just don't really.
It wasn't a total new cast. Yeah, you had Laurie Strode for like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, and they just all that build up just to literally take a dump on her face. That's highly disrespectful.
He's doing himself no favors tonight. And I'd be okay with the multiverse idea as long as all the Michaels then gang up and beat the living shit out of H5 Michael.
Oh, well, we are.
And then they take the mask off and like burn it in a fire pit. Who would do that?
I know. I would know. I got my money on Rob Zombie Myers.
See, I don't. I think he would kick ass, but he got killed. He's just a dude. He's not supernatural.
That is
he
true.
Would kick some ass, but eventually he died.
See, I don't fucking remember that because I've seen 2 like once.
I'm taking H4 Terminator, Michael. Fucking
okay, clearly the answer is H2O, Michael, because he was smart enough to put somebody else in the mask to get their head chopped off.
Oh my god.
So, look, and I love H2O. That is exactly where they should have ended the Laurie storyline. Like, just let it be. Let that be.
Let her have the kill. That's
exactly. It. And then reboot something else. Reboot a whole different storyline. That's where that should have ended. It was. I feel like a lot of people hate H2O because of the way Resurrection picks up.
Remember
how they fucked that up. I'm like,
remember when we said we weren't the Halloween only channel?
The what?
Oh, we do have a lot of Halloween on tonight's show, so that should.
And then we talked about Halloween for 20 minutes.
But I think
been here 20 minutes.
But see, I think questions like that were asked that are different, not the questions that and the stories that we continually talk about. I mean, questions like that is what gets conversation going, gets different ideas going, and that's where you can ramble on about it and not feel like you're dragging something out. So,
and Johnny already told me he wants Michael Myers in space. He told me before. Pitched the whole thing.
I was literally going to say, before we rule out the multiverse idea, John Carpenter did want to send him to space. And at one point, a movie was almost made where Michael Myers turns into a giant at a drive-in movie theater. So like a real giant bigger than the screen. So,
my
man was super high when he was thinking about that.
Well, it wasn't me. So, did you mean the John Carpenter one?
It was
Clearly,
John.
He meant John Carpenter.
I'm sure he's plenty high.
Sean gets his best ideas when he's super fucking high. I've seen it.
Boy, no comment. A couple of Halloween tidbits though. Number one, this is not official, although I think it might be about to be made official. I think Halloween Ends has been delayed. Not the release date, but the filming date. As far as I know, they're going to film well into March now, and that things might not get going until February. James Jude Courtney's not expected to report till February, and then that was later confirmed again on a cameo video he was doing. So that's not really a big surprise. And to be honest, backing this movie up a month, if that's what it ends up being, is not going to kill it. This is not a CGI heavy movie. It'll still be ready in plenty of time for October.
Mm-hmm.
But all those people that wanted to see some, possibly open set pick leaks and all that, you're gonna have to wait another month for that stuff. So, and I'm sure someone will leave a script in a bathroom somewhere, and someone will leak it online. That's typically how that works. So,
Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah.
That sucks.
And then the other Halloween Ends bit, since I seen it coming up in the chat, is to our knowledge, Laurie Strode is not the main character in Halloween Ends. They will treat her as such in the marketing, much like they did with Halloween Kills, but you might have noticed she wasn't the main character in that movie either.
Well, are they finally going to give it to Allison, who should have got it in the second one? God damn it. She deserves it.
Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, she did kind of get it. In the second one, her and a bunch of others, it was an ensemble. And this one is going to be similar to an ensemble, but with new characters and new actors playing those characters after almost a half decade wait for the next movie in terms of actual movie time. But it sounds like Allison's going to be the focus. Obviously, Laurie and Michael are still going to have their big final showdown. That's definitely going to happen. But Allison deserves to be the focus.
Yes.
You don't fucking bring that character on and allow her to survive what she survived and then be like, okay, yeah, no, you're going to play second fiddle. Like, you market it through Jamie Lee Curtis because that's the smart thing to do marketing-wise. It's a lie, but yeah. I'm all for Allison taking it, and I've seen enough out of Andy Matichuk between Sun, Halloween, and Halloween Kills that I think she's perfectly fine being the center of attention.
I think she's good. I was kind of disappointed that she didn't get a bigger role in the second one, but in Kills. But I get it. I mean, you had Anthony Michael Hall and everybody else involved. So, and if you want to know more Halloween Ends info, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/Fandom Empire. The most recent one's available to all tiers, and talk about 20 things we know about Halloween Ends. We know more than that, but we focus in on 20 things, and it was a lot of fun. Tommy and I going over that list, and some of it's stuff that's like just fucking plain as day. You couldn't get it wrong. Everybody knows it. And then some of it was stuff that's not out there too much. So, Christopher Nelson has been working on Ends for the last 2 months. I wouldn't be surprised if Christopher Nelson's been working on Ends for more than 2 months. It's definitely been more than 2 months. I remember he did a live video right before Kills came out, I think with Sean Clark. And one of the questions was, has he started working on anything for Ends? And he said, yeah. So,
yeah, I can think of something pretty major he's working on, but we'll leave that for another show. Anyways, let's dive into our Halloween Ends predictions, guys. A lot of people want to see what's going to happen here. Let's see how it turns out. Let me pull up my phone. That way I can actually keep track of who says what. All right.
Clear. We have not heard anything denying the Michaelverse.
Oh my God.
Oh man, I'm so
bad
for
night
that.
for my vape to be empty.
I'm so for. I'm actually going to write a script when I get off here.
Or should we call it the Myers-verse?
God damn it, Tommy! You're a fucking genius, dude. I'm gonna DM Blumhouse right now. Check out this guy named Tommy B.
How can they not take that?
They say the line between genius and insanity is very thin. You're on the wrong side of it.
You don't think that Blumhouse, like, there's got to be someone there who's watching this all the time? They got to keep tabs on us. We're so smart.
We'll just send your script we'll send the script and your idea to Dave McRae because he works for Blumhouse. We got it. We're
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Keith says Exorcist is being filmed in Georgia. Also, that's right, dude.
Lots of things are filmed in Georgia. Great tax credit there.
Yep, there's a lot. Didn't they film Heels in Georgia?
They filmed that. They filmed the new Conjuring movie in Georgia. They filmed a
Walking
lot of stuff.
Dead has always filmed.
Yeah.
So
didn't the devil go down to Georgia once?
Yeah, he was looking for a soul to steal.
So literally, I don't know if anybody. I stopped watching The Walking Dead like after season 7, I think.
I stopped.
But it's
3.
I went down to Atlanta, right outside Atlanta. They literally have I don't know if anybody's seen it. Where does anybody watch The Walking Dead on here at all?
I used to, but I mean,
did you stop watching it when they made it at least into that like little neighborhood that's called in Alexandria, Virginia?
I watched it all the way up to the point where they write Andrew Lincoln off the show, and so I watched the rest of that season. It was actually quite good, the time jump, but after that it got shit.
So that Alexandria like neighborhood, that's a real place. I went down there and did the tour. Like that's all set up. People actually live in those homes and everything. Like they got the gate up around it. It was pretty fucking cool. It's one of the coolest things I've done.
That would be cool.
But like 2 streets over, they shot the new Conjuring movie, and that same house that they shot the Conjuring movie in is also in Fried Green Tomatoes. Never seen that movie, but they used that same house. But
Never heard of that movie.
me neither.
Keith says they already started filming The Exorcist. See, the interesting thing there is us and several others had a report that there was a casting call out for Brainwaves, which was supposed to be attached to Halloween Kills, which kind of lines up with the whole radio tower thing. And then I received some info today that suggested that maybe, just maybe, that Brainwaves casting call wasn't for Halloween Kills and was actually for The Exorcist, and The Exorcist started filming early. So we'll have to wait and see. It'll come. The movie will come when it comes, and we'll deal with it then. All right, guys. Speaking of that movie that I just said we'll deal with then, we're going to start dealing with it now. Prediction time. Halloween Ends. Will Hawkins and Laurie be a couple in Halloween Ends? Remember, Halloween Ends takes place 4 years later, and both those characters survived. Let's go around the table. Call me B.
That's a weird spot to start, but sure, why the hell not? Assuming we're going to get some kind of, time jump or whatever, I think it'd be okay to bet on that. They had a couple moments in Kills where there was some emotions expressed. It'd be interesting to see if nothing else. I'll go, but yeah, why the hell not?
No.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I think it would make zero sense for Laurie's character to be such a fucking basket case, shut in, like whatever, and then all this stuff happens, and then after that she's like cool with like having a relationship and stuff like that.
Nobody said it was a normal relationship.
I'm gonna go with yes, because you got to think now at this point, Officer Hawkins has been through a lot too. Obviously what we saw in the flashback. I was about to say arguably more. So I would say yes, and I would predict that they get close and Laurie will lose another person close to her. I think that they'll get close and Officer Hawkins will die, and
I don't know if they'll have a romantic relationship, but I suspect a good chunk of this movie is going to be built on the relationship that's formed between the three of those people, Allison, Hawkins, and Laurie. And you can even throw Lindsay in there. So, but if I had to guess one way or another, I'd say no to the romantic relationship and yes to like a best friend type relationship. Very awkward. And
I would say it would be along the lines of like you're not going to see them kiss, but they're going to have like really deep conversations and flirty moments. So, I mean, I guess whatever you want to call that.
I don't know if they'll
have up, Mike. Grow up. It's not a relationship.
Other than Laurie telling them to fuck off or something. So I could see that. Johnny, where do you fall on this, man?
I mean, romantic relationship? The hell no.
The question is, does that still include sex? Is sex still a thing for Laurie and Hawkins?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Why not?
Who the fuck has Laurie had sex with?
Oh, I guarantee you. Well, there has to be people.
I was going to say she's done it with at least one person.
She seems like a do-it-yourself type of woman to me.
I don't even know what to say to that.
What? It's a valid comment.
The sound page for studio says wrinkly sex. Yes, I imagine.
That's kind.
Imagine most older people have wrinkly sex.
Let's not go down that road. Because
look, wrinkly sex is in your future one day.
Just with your cousin.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Yeah, I had like 10 jokes preloaded there, and I didn't say any of them.
Who y'all calling old, by the way? I just walked back into this. Because Jamie Lee Curtis is hot, okay?
Her face looks like a fucking plastic bag from Walmart.
No, she does look very, very old.
I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, I'll grant you. Laurie Strode, hell no.
Tommy is blushing hardcore right now. Is there something you want to tell us about JLC?
All I'm thinking of right now is I'm gonna butcher the last name, and this is a very old YouTube video and song, but John LaJoie, he's from up in the land of the Maple Leaf. He did all kinds of YouTube videos, everyday normal guy. One of his old songs was "I Kill People."
So I'm gonna
I think the chorus
John
is
LaJoie.
yes, the chorus is like old people
LaJoie.
burning, old people burning.
I'm gonna
Put your
share. I'm
hands
gonna
up.
share this with everybody. I
Old
don't know.
people burning.
I don't know. I don't know
people
who.
burning.
I don't
That's
know who
kinda
has seen
messed up.
this, but
What is this? I've seen that. I've seen you do that.
yeah.
I think we talked about
What am I
it.
looking at?
You're looking at Mike in a plastic Walmart bag. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I'll bet that's kind of what it looks like seeing the screen on a camera. Like, seeing the screen on the screen like that. It looks horrible.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
By the way, people, been almost 60 people in here the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. Click that like button. Looks like this. Thumbs up. Absolutely free to do. Helps the stream out. Click the thumbs up button. Share some love. Let's start 2022 off on the good foot.
Oh, why your thumb look like that, Kieran?
J Dead says Hawkins knocks Lori up. She has a set of twins at the beginning of Halloween Ends. Octavia is a hell of a drug.
Geriatric pregnancy. Oof.
I can see that.
Man, could you imagine? Like, you just see full on fucking pregnant. Almost. 60
How old is she supposed to fucking be? Like
This one
56,
should
I guess.
be
56, 57.
Like 40 years later, isn't it?
In the
61.
50s.
61. For
Same thing.
context, my grandfather had my dad at 56. So,
Okay, dudes popping out kids at that age. That's not weird.
A
I
little
mean,
more
you hear stories
real.
of like 90-year-old dudes having kids. Like, okay, that right, dudes, don't stop. But a 60-year-old woman, that is. Well, that's either an A&E special or.
he said it.
I did. It's an A&E special.
Let's move on to question number 2. Will Allison survive Halloween Ends? My answer is yes, and I'll elaborate on why in just a little bit.
Yes.
Do you have a reason why? Just final
No,
girl sort of thing?
just a yes. I have no inside. I don't know. I just have a feeling that.
He said inside.
No, I said that. No, I just have a feeling she's going to be the one that survives. I think. I'll save my predictions for later, but I do think she survives.
Tommy?
Yes.
Johnny?
Yes, because someone significant has to.
Yeah.
So this
I think so.
panel thinks Allison is basically bulletproof for Halloween Ends, and will
Nobody
not die.
said that. Like,
No,
I wouldn't.
Now she's going
I
to
wouldn't
die.
say
'cause
shoot
we all
a
said
shoot a
yes.
gun at her or anything.
Michael.
I
just
wouldn't say
comes
she-
out with a fucking Uzi. It's the
She
new.
fucked up. Her legs fucked up.
Will Lindsay survive? That's right. Lindsay Wallace is back for Halloween Ends.
Hell no.
I think.
No.
Not starting with Tommy on this one. Mike's already said no. Tommy.
So, like, just because Mike said no, part of me wants to say, but she did survive Halloween Kills.
And Halloween.
But with that in mind, I'll say no.
Johnny?
I mean, it's unlikely. I don't see it happening, but at the same time, I wouldn't be overly surprised because she seems to just not be around when death is imminent.
Keith says Andy is not a final girl. Well, I think she's about to be. Well,
Then who is? They can introduce somebody new?
no, he might want Lori again. I don't know.
Great.
Kieran?
No. I would imagine that pretty much everyone dies except for Allison and
Michael.
I mean Jamie Lee Curtis maybe and Michael maybe. Everyone else is probably going to die.
I have Lindsay as surviving. I think Lindsay will survive.
So you're saying she's like a cockroach in the apocalypse?
As long as she knows how to love,
I
she'll be alive.
Will Lori survive Halloween Ends? Here's a heavy hitting one.
This
Let's
is
go
a good
reverse order
one.
this time. Kieran. For all the dollar bills, man. Hey, if this was your wife, she'd be fucking nailing this and winning all the money.
What?
Poker.
Who's nailing my wife?
No, nobody. Well, you, I hope. No.
Well, this got awkward.
I don't want to find out about it on this podcast. So if you ever find out, don't tell me live on the air.
Look, man,
That'd be highly disrespectful.
Yeah, that would be.
First topic of the night. Sorry, Kieran.
Let's take a live look in at who's doing it.
Hi guys, this is Terrence, Fandom Empire, and you're watching Fandom Empire Live, which Sean didn't invite me to, so it's probably going to be a piece of shit!
I've never
Time to get him to
Yeah.
dig up a new fucking video to record. Like, we've been playing this.
Speaking of,
nobody has seen him
Speaking of
since June.
multiverse,
I told you where he went. He's in Florida. He was looking for the alligators.
So he went to a place
Where
with
he
no
went.
sand. I have a hard
Yes.
time believing that.
Yes, alligators.
Now, if he stayed in the swamps looking for gators, he wouldn't see much beach though. So he'd see a lot of swamp. Just saying.
I'm just saying. I've never noticed it before, but Kieran clean shaved looks a little bit like Terrence. I've never put that together before. You guys like cousins or something?
I'm pretty sure he already said he was one of Johnny's cousins.
No,
Oh, right. Yes.
No.
Yes. I forgot about that.
no.
I don't.
I got
think
my
so.
own. I got my
think you're
own
full
weird
of shit,
cousins.
Sean. You're just trying to say people look different to detract from your own shaved face.
What does my shaved face have to do with any of this?
Because
Terrence?
Do you look like
you're trying to deflect the attention from yourself.
Yes, I'm Terrence. Guilty. We've been on here at the same time. Mike might be Terrence. I could see that. I could see it.
I don't think Mike's been on with Terrence before. That would probably make sense.
This is true.
Never know.
Kieran, did you say she was living or dying?
What?
Lori.
I'm 50-50 on it. I don't know.
Man, pick.
Okay, I'm gonna say I'll say dies.
Johnny.
Lame.
Really not firm on that.
Did.
Lame.
Tommy.
She is dead.
Lame.
So Mike has her living.
No, she's dead.
She's fucking toast. She's toast. You thought Resurrection was bad? Wait till you see the first 5 minutes of this. No, I'm kidding. I have no knowledge.
I'd be highly disappointed.
First 5 minutes of the movie, Jamie Lee Curtis is taken out again.
She makes sure to kiss him on the mask too.
Yeah.
I'll see you in hell.
We did that one already, right? Yep. Will Karen appear in
Yes.
Halloween Ends? I have that as yes as well.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
She's an important character.
Yeah.
There's there's obviously already been flashbacks and storytelling that goes back and forth.
Yep. 110%, man. Karen, I think Karen will absolutely be in Halloween Ends. But just so we're clear, she most certainly died at the end of Halloween Kills.
Yeah, we've already seen that kind of storytelling, so kind of hints at it.
Well, sorry, did we all have Karen as appearing? Sounded like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the panel has Karen as appearing. Will we get an explanation as to why the shape is the way it is? In other words, are they going to tell us why Michael Myers is Michael Myers?
Yes. I think it's going to be a bigger explanation than what Lori told at the end of Kills. I think we'll get something a little deeper. Hopefully. But that's my guess.
I feel like that
because...
transcends line is kind of leading into something. A lot of the the window thing, the house thing, a lot of things that they're kind of pointing at is going to give us some sort of weird supernatural reason why he is what he is.
Tommy Bizzle.
I mean, like, because it's horror, it's Halloween. I don't believe the explanation is going to be airtight, and you're going to be able to dissect it and tear it apart with a fine-tooth comb and what have you. But I think you're definitely going to get a lot more, possibly more than you've ever gotten before.
I think we'll get some answers with a lot more questions.
And Kieran's answer was a yes, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to find out why the shape is the way he is, and I think that most of us are going to fucking hate it. That's what I think. Sometimes it's better.
It's the midichlorians. He has too many in his veins.
Yeah, it will probably be one of those things where you have to just sort of, if you want to really enjoy the movie, sort of just kind of forget about that part. So,
I'll probably like it.
Yeah,
as long as they don't go too far off the rails, I'll probably be okay with it. Just because you can pretty much get away with anything as long as it kind of makes sense in context story, right? That's going to be my thing. Does it make sense in this context? Because, some answers just don't make sense. Like midichlorians just didn't make sense, but this could.
Oh, we got another super chat in here, guys. Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the chat for a little bit. Let's take a little bit of break from the questions, but I think we have 4 or 5 more to get to. Jerry says, if Loomis comes back, what would his role be? Michael better kill her with poison. Man, I read this one fake script, and I know it was fake because Michael dies bobbing for apples.
What?
Yeah.
That's an exciting way to die.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny is the build-up to that point is very real. It's reading to real. Like, it's very believable, and then all of a sudden Michael's bobbing for apples. It's like, oh, okay. It's a Rickroll, but with a script.
Is this
going to be stupid? I agree. I think it will be too. William says, Laurie or Allison have to get killed. In my opinion, this crap has been going on for 40 years. Something big has to happen. Yeah, Laurie needs to fucking die. D-E-A-D. Dead.
She is.
In my opinion. All right, let's dive back into this. Will there be a 110% definitive ending to the movie, as in, that's it, people are dead, there aren't any more in this timeline, unless they retcon something later?
I think one of my predictions was that not only is Michael going to die, but he's going to get, like, obliterated in some sort of way. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, he's dead, he fell in a well, and you're like, okay, well, he fell in a well. Like, he's definitely going to live. It's going to be like he's going to get exploded or burnt to the point where you can't, like, ashes. Like, I think that Michael's going to die, but he's not even going to die in a way where you're like, oh, but he might come back for another one. I think he will, without question, be dead.
Johnny?
Wood chipper.
I mean, I suppose it depends on how you define definitive. Like,
can't make any more unless you retcon something that happens.
Then no.
Okay. A lot of people think they're going that way, though. A lot of people want them to go that way. But I'm with you. I don't think it's happening. And it doesn't sound like it's going to happen either. So that might piss people off with a movie titled Halloween Ends, but money, 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 money. Apparently, he wants a definitive ending. He wants to rest in peace, damn it. Tommy B? Definitive ending?
So I'm trying to think about it. Like, how many times has this franchise gotten a definitive ending and then they just uprooted it in the next movie in that timeline? Well, I think that was every time.
You could have fucking had one at the end of H2O, but, fucking resurrection people.
You could have arguably had it. You could have had it with Halloween 2 as well, but they
got his ice shot out and blown up and lit on fire. That could have been the end.
Yep.
It somehow wasn't, but
I think every other ending has arguably been open-ended. So I'm going to go with it's not going to be 110% ending, airtight, so on and so forth.
Melissa Todd says that's lit. What's lit?
Our show.
Our show is lit. Usually it's more lit, but my vape's gone. So
no. I don't know which way they're going to go with it, but just to give my prediction, I think there's no definitive end to Michael himself, and I do think Allison is going to live. So doesn't mean that she'll pop up somewhere near in the future, but I think they'll leave that door open.
Way down the road.
Yeah.
Way down the road for sure. All right, we got 2 questions left on this list. Actually, we have 3. Yes, we have 3. Does Hawkins survive this movie? I'm a hard no on this one. Although I still think the idea of a follow-up to Ends would be cool if it was just Hawkins and Allison that survived and she was like her kind of like her grandfather figure almost.
Oh no, they don't think I'm a couple?
Allison and Hawkins? Oh, I mean he's fucking good for him, I guess.
Look at you judging other people.
I'm going to say no.
She's 21 now in the next movie.
He's going to die.
He's a good-looking guy. He could land a 21-year-old.
Yeah, well, he's going to die, so that's not going to happen.
How far are you on Yellowstone, Kieran?
Still near the end of 2.
That actor is in the show. I won't tell you what he plays, but he comes up in the show and stays in the show for a bit.
Nice.
He's pretty good. So, what's everybody else think about Hawkins surviving? I think he's toast, but it'd be cool if he did survive. I think that he, at least in this storyline, these 3 movies specifically, he has a pretty important part.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to my answer to their relationship. I think they're going to become very close. And like always, Laurie's going to lose another close person to her. So yeah, I think he's gone. He's done. He's toast. I think he's going to get stabbed right in the left side of the gut. That's what
D-U-N, done.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think he's gonna. I think he's probably gonna die, but it wouldn't surprise me if he lived quite like until almost the end. I think he has to play a good part in the finale. So like, I don't think he's gonna be a midway through the movie kill and whatever you're upset about it. I think if he does, it's gonna be part of the end game of whatever happens.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be close to that end battle between Laurie and Michael.
Apollo says, have some fucking respect for the audience, you mother Canuckers. Don't call it Halloween Ends if it's not going to end. Stupid! ! Times 3.
But it's going to end.
The
movie's not going to go on forever.
They have no respect for the audience. Neither does any major studio. They have one thing in their mind, and their dollar bills. If you want someone who has respect for the audience, go find George Lucas, who's making movies only for his friends. So I guess he respects that audience. But studios don't give a fucking shit what you think about it. They just care if your ass goes and sits and sees the movie.
I was going to say go find a fan fiction author who writes the stories you like.
That too, or write your own. I'm not saying that like in a bad way. Like expressing yourself creatively in that way is pretty cool. Who else thinks Hawkins toast or living? Did Mike, Tommy, and Johnny give theirs? I honestly can't remember.
Well, toast is food, and you eat that, so I don't expect any cannibals in this film. So he's not
you want
toast.
Hawkins in your mouth is what you're saying. Confirmed.
Wow.
No, I do not want Hawkins anywhere near my mouth.
He was gay in The Punisher. Not that there's a problem with that.
Hawkins was in The Punisher?
Sure.
Why would a Halloween character be in a Punisher movie? That makes no sense.
The crossover.
Are you implying some weird
multiverse that Tommy wanted?
Shit. Can you imagine the multiverse and Michael goes to hunt down Hawkins and he ends up on Remember the Titans football field? That'd be some shit.
Wait, if the multiverse applies to their characters' other roles, does that mean that Michael Myers is going to show up in Total Recall and go against Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Hell yeah. Can you imagine? I just thought about this. Him going up against Denzel too. That'd be some shit. I'd pay to see that.
So are we implying that there's some weird part of this multiverse where Freaky Friday is in fact Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers switching places?
Imagine Michael
that's
slitting
different.
Lindsay Lohan's neck.
I think
Tommy,
that's
you're
different.
onto something. Tommy's
I think
onto
we're
something.
talking about the Pattonverse.
The Patton verse. Oh my god, I got to give you some love for that one. Did we all have our Hawkins say?
I think
I don't know.
so.
Who cares?
Nobody's saying no. Let's move on. All right. Will the shape look different in Halloween Ends? Or are we going to see him basically look how he did in Halloween Kills? In my opinion, it's been 4 years. There's been lots of talk about the shape looking different. The two big rumors are out there is a completely new costume altogether that obviously resembles a Michael Myers mask. Or the one he wore in Kills is just really worn down and torn apart and is going to have almost this Rob Zombie Halloween 2-esque look to it. And I really hope that's not the case.
So
You see, I'm putting my money on that's going to be exactly the case. Because it's not going to be Michael. It's going to be Rob Zombie 2 Michael.
Oh my god.
Okay. So he's going to talk.
Yes.
Die.
So I am going to say totally different look. I can't remember if it was David Gordon Green or Christopher Nelson. One of them said that Michael has a new mask in this film. I cannot remember which one said that. But so I'm going to have to say yes.
I have always thought that, and there was even rumors for a while, but we could never get anything confirmed, that there'd be a new mask. It'd be a clean white mask that resembles the traditional 78 mask, but that it's clear just by looking at it that it is not the 78 mask. And it's just some new mask you picked up at a store.
Now,
it's got to be the pale white face.
I got to see if I could try to find that interview because it is confirmed that it's a new mask, but didn't go into details of what that looked like.
He actually has taken up using computers, and he finds a part of the internet that's like their version of Etsy, where somebody makes, Michael Myers masks, so he gets his Michael Myers masks on the internet like all of us fans do.
I know someone he shouldn't buy them from.
So there are lots of someones we could point out that he shouldn't buy them from.
Shit, I have a prediction right now, Sean. I know exactly how it's going to happen. My man is gonna break in to a Spirit Halloween and take a mask. I see it right now.
Spirit Halloween just sponsors the movie. That's where most of the revenue comes from.
Hey, they make a shit ton of money to be popping up all kinds of places every fucking year. So
see, when he said he's gonna make a new mask, though, people need to keep in mind that it could still be in the story, the mask from 1978. Yep. But that it needs to be really even more deteriorated because of the events of that night, because it takes place over 2 movies. And now almost half a decade has passed. He could be making a new mold that is still, in fact, that same mask from the first movie. If I were them, though, I would not do that.
He's taken up hair weaving to fix the hair.
I honestly,
that burn matted look.
I'm not putting anything past Mr. Nelson. I mean, I've been very, very pleased with what he's done throughout these 2 films.
He's great with Beat Street.
It's a new.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They need to put out new shirts and new NECA figures and whatever. It's going to be completely different. It's going to be like nothing we've seen before. It might be like you said, might resemble a 78 mask. It might be clean, but it'll be different because they need to put out new posters. And I mean, if you look, we have the 2 posters out in the background here. They're a big focus of the poster as well. So it's got to look different. And all those 3 posters are definitely going to look, I said before, if the first 2 posters are a big close-up of the mask, the 3rd poster probably going to be a big close-up of the new mask.
My money's black and blue, clean white mask look. And there's your Halloween Ends mask. And it's focused on the center and not the opposite side this time.
And I think, and I wouldn't be nervous about that. I would have full confidence in a new white mask.
Yeah, me too. There's just make some of the facial structures a little bit different. At the end of the day, it's still going to look similar to the Halloween 2 mask because that's the way the mask sits on James Jude Courtney's face. Like if you look at the masks for James Jude Courtney and Nick Castle, when Nick Castle has his on, it does look more like Halloween 1. In my opinion, when Nick Castle has the mask on, it looks more like H2 just because of the shape of his face. It's the way those masks work. So yeah, they create a mold, but still. All right, let's get to the final question. It's the big one. I'm sure this will create a debate in the chat. I want everybody who's in the chat that's invested in this show. Good turnout tonight, by the way. Hopefully everybody had a great Christmas and a happy New Year and staying safe and dealing with the bullshit that we're dealing with, and just know that there's at least for now, there's a tomorrow, and let's just keep popping out content and having you guys come out and enjoy it. I would like everybody who's in the chat, though, to answer this one too. Simple yes or no in the chat, and everybody on here, if you can provide a little bit of a clarification as to why you're choosing your answer, that'd be great too, but the chat doesn't need to do it. That's the wrong slide.
I think we answered that already.
It turns out that
I think we answered that one too.
Wow.
Hang on, I'm working on it.
You got big buildup for not anything.
Will Michael Myers survive Halloween Ends? Will Michael Myers survive Halloween Ends? Johnny.
Of course he will. Dollar bills, y'all.
Tommy B. It's a good reason.
Which
though,
one?
Johnny.
Which one?
There's no. Fuck off.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Kieran?
No, I don't think he will. I think they are going to kill him. Like I said, I think they're going to obliterate him. And I think the reason for that is they'll probably just do another Halloween. They'll figure out another way to do another one, reboot it again, whatever. I don't think they're worried about not being able to make another film.
But then they find out that they didn't blow off Michael's head and all of his body parts. It was actually Jack who escaped the Haddonfield prison.
Sure, why not? Or maybe there's some weird fucking worm things that a doctor eats, and then he turns into the new Michael. You know, you never know.
Is Michael surviving, or is he toast?
I think he survives. I think they'll leave us at a little bit of a cliffhanger on that. Kind of like in the first film. I think they'll pay homage to it like that. I really do.
I think he survives, and the Sound Painter Studio put this in the chat, and I think this is probably the way it's going to happen. Yes, but it won't be explicitly stated. You'll get hints and nods to him being alive.
So, I mean, I guess how's that going to? I guess my thing with that is it going to be like Halloween? Is it going to be like H-18? You hear him breathing at the end of the credits. Like, is it going to be something like that? Do you think it's going to be something a little bit more detailed than that?
Potential spoiler warning here for Spider-Man No Way Home. So no, he actually dies in Halloween Ends. And then this portal opens up and Michael walks through it with these people, and they want him to prove how he's actually Michael Myers. So instead he just kills them. There, he proved it. And then the new Michael from the new Michael Myers multiverse continues the story.
That's fair.
Or Michael.
That's fair. I'm good with that.
That's fucking terrible.
I do think he survives. Yeah. I don't know. I'm there too. You know, part of me wants to say that David Gordon Green kind of wants to put a definitive end to this, to his story. But I've heard him in multiple interviews at this point he's been asked.
They've changed the story so many fucking times.
And then, he's been asked multiple times, how do you feel about somebody else rebooting the story down the line? And he said multiple times he think it would work and it'd be good with it. So, that answer right there, without going into details, saying there's going to be kind of an open ending to this film.
This just in, Hollywood executives lie. Yeah, they don't always tell you the truth. This is a thing. I was watching this, the making of The Empire Strikes Back. And it wasn't like the classic Empire of Dreams documentary. Like, this was a really old one. The quality was fucking terrible. And it was just the other day I was watching it. Within 10 minutes, they state that the budget for The Empire Strikes Back was two very different numbers. And both like high rank. One was Gary Kurtz and the other one was someone else major on the film. And like within 10 minutes of each other, they completely contradicted one another. And it wasn't like, oh, the budget for Empire was 17 million and the other one said 18 million. No, we're talking like like a $10 million difference way back in.
How the hell did they put two different numbers in this fucking thing?
I had no idea what the fuck they were thinking.
Is this like back before they had professional people who made sure you didn't do stupid shit like that? Not that that doesn't happen.
Really old, but it shows some pretty cool stuff. All right, let's dive into this. We didn't get to fully dive into it earlier because Kieran was a little late getting here, but the 2022 lineup for Fandom Empire, what you can expect on the channel this year. Fandom Empire Live will continue on Tuesday nights as usual. And I think we're going to make the first Tuesday show of every month a movie trivia show. So we'll have movie trivia at the end of every Tuesday show at the beginning of the month. The orange sign is simply for pre-produced videos. The Star Wars Fandom podcast is currently scheduled to launch either next week or the week after. Kieran and I will figure that out, but it'll be a weekly podcast that airs right before Fandom Empire Live for a little bit, and then it'll take a break when as long as there's not a Star Wars show on at the time, but it'll take a break, and the Rick and Morty fan show will come back probably several weeks before the new season, and Kieran will lead us through that. Kieran, is there anything that you want to let the audience know about the Rick and Morty fan show? Any plans you might have, or you're just looking forward to getting back and doing it? You have had a bit of a break now.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to getting back to it. I've still been keeping in contact with my fan base through our chat, and they're excited, but like not a lot of stuff's leaking through. So I think it was a good idea to pause the show for now because we really haven't gotten a lot of confirmed anything for the show. But excited for it to happen. Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. It's really open ending to where we're going now. So. Super excited for it, and hopefully we'll be able to do the live streams right after episodes again, because not only did those do really well, but they were really exciting to do. So looking forward to Rick and Morty coming back, and looking forward to pretty much all of these projects that we have on the screen here. So
yeah, so the Star Wars podcast will be available on the Fandom Empire channel, and short clips of it will be put up on the Star Wars Fandom channel. House of the Empire is much like Kieran's Rick and Morty show, a show that'll be dedicated. Its first season will be dedicated to recapping Game of Thrones. We're going to do that in a way that we've never done it before. That's definitely going to include Zach, myself, and Kieran. I'm sure Johnny will pop up at some point for a Game of Thrones show, maybe Tommy at some point. But then it essentially becomes.
No, what about me?
I didn't know you watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I did finish. I do.
Did you? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I didn't know that.
No, it's fine, man.
You were just being nice earlier with your comment, and I was like, "Why are you making that comment? You haven't even watched Game of Thrones." But
it's fine. Just fuck me. I'll go sit in the corner.
Correct response is, I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
But I can't say that. That's his line.
That show will follow House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones show debuting a little later this year. I know there's a bunch of contradictions on when that show is going to take place. My guess is still like fall area. I don't think they're far enough along in production to get it out before then. And they had a few delays. So be on the lookout for that. 31, the Halloween podcast will be a bi-weekly podcast available over on Patreon. That's available at the $10 tier and up. You can catch that. It'll be with Mike and I, and literally like an example of a show you might see. We might have a 25-minute podcast on. Actually, I think this is going to be the first one, where we just talk about the evil dies tonight bit in Halloween Kills and dissect that and look at, that from a sort of a different lens. And it'll give us an opportunity to dive into some of the smaller Halloween topics and just focus on one topic at a time. Lambkin Lane's continuing over on Patreon. That's $13 tier and above. Same with Inside Fandom. That's a $5 tier and above. And then the new one, which we're still working out details for. I don't think we'll be starting this next week. Maybe the week after, if we can get enough details sorted out. We had a vote in the chat earlier to decide the name of this show, and it is Fandom Empire presents the Cinematic Showdown.
Yeah, bitches.
What? Yeah, bitches. Who said that? Which one of y'all damn motherfuckers just? Yeah, Fandom Empire presents a Cinematic Showdown, which is almost like a movie fight show or a movie battle show. We don't have any list of movies ready for it yet, so it's still probably at least a couple weeks away. But for example, we were talking about like the Star Wars prequels earlier. I don't think Kieran and Johnny like the Star Wars prequels, but Tommy and I do. And Mike doesn't really care about Star Wars. So like Mike might be the judge on one of those shows, and Kieran and Johnny would have a week to put together their case why The Phantom Menace sucks and why it is, in fact, a bad movie. And Tommy and I would have a week to put together a case for why The Phantom Menace is a good movie, or even Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I don't know how many people are going to pick the good movie on that one, though.
Me and Johnny would squash you guys as a tag team.
Maybe. I doubt it. Johnny, I have some faith in. Your reasons for liking shit are just stupid.
You know what would be really great? Every time we do it, we got to make a name for our tag team, too.
That'd be cool. And it's not necessarily going to be tag teams, though, because you might have some shows where it's like 3-on-3 or 3-on-2 or 3-on-1. It won't always be an even, like, if we're not going to ask someone to be like, why is this a bad movie if they don't think it's a bad movie? And then there'll also be episodes where it's like, we might put, okay, let's put The Dark Knight against, Joker. What is the better movie? And you might have some people on that side or some people on that side. And the interesting thing we're going to do with this program is we're actually going to keep track of the results. It gives us some fucking use for our website that's just sitting there. And
we're going to keep track of the results.
We'll be able to have a database of what each movie ended up being ranked. It'll eventually get a score ranked out of 10. Fairly, remind you. And you'll be able to find all that. So Zach and I had an idea for this with Fandom Fraternity back in the day, and we never really got around to it properly, but I feel like there's enough of us that butt heads on this show now that we'd have no problem doing a cinematic showdown. Gentlemen, I'm going to clear the floor to you. I know we're still sorting out details for the show, but just your thoughts on what a cinematic showdown show offers the viewers of this channel. Anybody can feel free to go ahead.
You get to hear my views. And whenever I am on a team, the team will be known as the winners because we'll always be right.
The only problem is we'll be doing lots of movies, and Tommy doesn't see those. So
Tommy might end up being the judge more often than not.
I can't help it. Like, most movies I watch are good movies because I don't want to watch shit. Like, if I watch a movie and it's just shit, I just turn it off pretty early on. Like,
didn't you like
the original
Harry Potter?
live action Avatar, The Last Airbender movie? I think I've never seen past like 20-minute mark because it was just shit.
Harry Potter shit.
The motherfucking.
Hey, chill the hell out.
You're not winning that fight, man.
I mean, I guess it depends on who the judge
You like that fucking movie, Mike? You like
that? You motherfuckers!
I like Harry Potter, and Kieran's being highly fucking disrespectful right now.
Oh, okay.
Apparently the cinematic showdown has started early. No, the audience is also going to have a say in it too, so it won't be like just one person decides. The audience will have a say, the judge will have a say, and we'll see who ends up being the winner. We still need to fine-tune some of the rules and stuff, but
Kieran likes Harry Potter. Look at his background. Slytherin. He's Slytherin. Look at him. That green.
Bunch of fucking wand wavers, you pieces of shit are.
I'll go get my wand right now.
I bet you will.
Wand waivers, basically.
Please, nobody whipping out the wands in the middle of the stream.
All right. When you grow a big ass penis on your forehead, don't be saying wand waver.
So yeah, the one thing we haven't mentioned though is that show will air on Thursdays going forward, and that show is replacing Fandom Empire now. So for now, Fandom Empire now is being benched. Cinematic Showdown is going to take its place. It will not always be live though. There's a good chance that you might see some Fandom Empire lives cut down to 55 minutes to an hour. And then we end up recording an hour Cinematic Showdown right after that, and then putting it out on the Thursday. So some of them will be live, some of them won't. I'm sure we'll miss a week here or there. But the goal here is to, eventually develop a mass catalog of movies of winners and losers, and who knows, maybe we'll even do some sort of movie showdown for March in honor of March Madness. So we'll figure it out. But we're looking forward to it. All right, fellas, it's that time. GoldenEye. Is it coming back? Who has played GoldenEye here? And we'll figure out how to have this conversation briefly before moving on to trivia.
Is Tom even born yet?
It better be everybody on this goddamn panel.
So I had an N64, but I don't think I've ever owned this game. I've definitely, had a controller and had the game on, but I don't think I've ever done like a full playthrough.
In fairness, Tommy's age probably limits him from any real experience he would have had with this game.
Hold on.
Like, dude,
Tommy,
I was a little
Tommy,
kid.
how old are you?
I am none of your fucking bit now. I'm how the fuck old am I? Oh shit, I'm so old I can't remember.
Holy fuck.
27. I'm
just
20 fucking 7. 27.
27 and you can't remember how old you are? That's inexcusable.
No,
dude.
I'm fucking killing. I'm like, am I 27 and a half yet? No.
It's once you get over
not quite.
30 that you sometimes have to be like, well, how old am I actually?
Not quite 27 and a half yet, but yeah.
Kenny
I
said-
had an N64. I had Mario. I had Mario Tennis. I had all kinds of Mario games. I had Jet Force Gemini. Fucking badass game, by the way. Some M-Ray stuff, but I never had GoldenEye. Just never did. But also, I had no money, so like I wasn't of at the age where I could go buy my own games.
The
Kenny
real
said-
reason is he had no friends. That's why he didn't have GoldenEye.
Sean going beardless to start 2022. Yeah, man. I wanted to look like you, dude. All my life, I've sat there since I've known you and gone, I want to look like Kenny Crayley. Dude, we appreciate the support. You've been with us a very long time, since the very beginning in 2015. Hopefully you had a great holiday and that you're staying safe. All right. GoldenEye, is it coming back? Johnny, what's your gut say? And
My
is
gut
it
says
like a really quick update on graphics, or like full-blown game?
my gut says I'll believe it when I see it. When somebody announces it. Like this is not the first time. This is not the first time that somebody's been like, "Oh, it's coming back. It's going to happen this time. It's definitely happening this time." It's not even the first time there's been like an achievements list leaked for this game. This is not the first time. Like at this point, GoldenEye is the game that cried wolf for me. There's been nothing's happened yet. It's always, oh yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. When it happens, great. I'll believe it when I see it. But until I see that, announcement at, a VGA or an E3 or,
And even then, like, they're not big announcement places anymore. I mean, they are, but like, they're a lot of them.
well, I mean, they are for games,
right?
but like if it's not announced at a conference or in a special event, I don't care. And that's what it would be for this, because it does have that huge nostalgia factor for 90% of most gamers nowadays of our age group, who grew up on it. So
yeah, it might, but they might also just release as a random YouTube video and put a lot of ad money into it. But yeah, I could see it being announced like that.
Did you guys miss that this has already happened, or
If you're talking about that fucking terrible Wii version, that was so not GoldenEye.
oh, okay, I have it and I actually liked it quite a bit.
was that GoldenEye Reloaded?
It's just called GoldenEye, I believe.
It's called GoldenEye, and there's some similar things in it to the N64 version, but there's also quite a few different things in it. Came with a gun too, didn't it? Or you could purchase a gun for it?
Yeah. I got mine came with a golden controller, but you could also get a gun holder for it, which was for lots of games. I think you can get a specific GoldenEye one. But we actually play it at my family or with my family all the time. My wife loves to play it. My brothers and sisters love to play it, and it was actually pretty fun. If you gave it a chance, it was actually a lot of fun. But it did also redo the game. The graphics were different, but I was just wondering if you guys ever even heard of that, because I figured you would have mentioned that by now.
That's actually GoldenEye Reloaded.
Sorry? Is it
GoldenEye
Reloaded?
Reloaded yeah.
Okay.
Reloaded is probably small print on there.
Oh, it's not actually on the cover, but that was the official title. I think they changed it sometime between.
Let's make people think it's GoldenEye again.
I got a special edition of it, so it was definitely different than the regular case too. So, but I don't know. I thought it was amazing. I mean, obviously, it wasn't the original redone and everything. It was different than that, but it was actually quite a bit of fun.
All right, fellas. So needless to say, this is a rumor at this point, but I would love to see GoldenEye come back. I think it would be amazing. Apologies here. I'm just looking for our trivia questions for tonight. You guys all have pen and paper, right? Don't need to give anybody any time. We can just dive right into it.
I'm writing in this book thing. Hopefully you'll be able to read from it.
Right, big enough for me. Big
You
enough.
gotta get close to the camera, Tommy.
What?
I'm saying you gotta get the writing close
Don't
to the camera.
fucking tell me what to do.
Don't you get...
Look,
Oh boy.
don't
look
you
at my
get-
last answer from the last trivia.
Fuck. Fuck.
At
I
least
have a
this one
feeling
isn't
that might-
Star Wars.
That answer
trivia,
might come
so-
up again.
It's not Star Wars trivia. Not mostly, anyway.
Not mostly. Great.
This
For
is going to be a
Christ's
bunch of
sakes.
fucking movies I haven't seen, isn't it?
We'll use orange as like our trivia time. Tommy. It's crazy how much that looks like Tommy B. Yeah, mine doesn't look like me anymore, though. You're going to have to do a new one.
Mine never looked like me, so whatever.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
Fine, I'm gonna change it.
You drew Kevin Smith.
All right. So we're all good, guys? Everybody has their pen and paper?
Good is debatable, but I have pen and paper.
All right. You only have 15 seconds to answer each question. Question number 1. Who played Batman in Batman Forever? Don't you look at that phone, Mike. Don't you cheat. Don't be like the Eagles, fucking cheaters.
I think you're confusing him with the Patriots.
Yeah, them too.
Oh, really, in reality, it's every team.
I think that was enough time.
Some form or other.
Yeah, time's up. Time's up. Okay, what do you got? What's Tommy got?
I wrote no so I can keep track of the shit I got no fucking idea of.
All righty. Question number 2. What year did The Dark Knight come out? Hang on, I guess I got to keep track of score, huh? Johnny. Time's up. Pen's down. Sorry, I'm trying to get a scoreboard ready here, guys. Thankfully, you guys all have different initials. Saves time.
Johnny's looking up. Look at him. He's looking it up.
I'm holding a pen in my hand and my paper in this hand. They're not even together.
Judge privilege is suspended. Oh, wait. Tommy didn't get a point. What am I doing that for? All righty. Answers up. Tommy, what do you got?
2005 with a question mark.
No. Good guess, though. Batman Begins came out in 2005. Mike says 2008. What's Kieran say? 2008. Yep. Everybody gets a point but Tommy.
I thought it was 9, to be honest.
I wrote 5 at first, and I was like, no, that was Begins.
It's my son's birth year, so I got that.
That
one.
was actually how I ended up remembering. I was like, no, Zach's not that old.
How many Halloween movies, as in the franchise, have been released to date? Different versions of the first movie do not count or anything like that. Just how many Halloween?
Hold
movies?
on.
Whoa,
Hold on.
that's fucked up.
So not like the remakes?
No, like Rob Zombie's count. I'm saying Halloween 1 with the TV cut in it. It doesn't count as its own one. It's just Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4, and so on. How many Halloween movies in total have been released? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Kieran? 12.
12.
Tommy, what do you got?
12.
12.
12. Johnny?
14.
Mike? Everybody's right but Johnny this time. So he gets karma for cheating. Put a U instead of a check. That doesn't do me any good.
Oh,
6 plus 2 plus 2.
plus 2.
6 plus 2 plus 2.
Plus 2.
That's 12.
Yeah.
You
You say it right the first
I
time?
can send Jensen over to your house and he can start practicing math with you. Or you can teach it, or maybe you shouldn't teach him. 6 plus 2 plus
6 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2.
Man. All right. Question number.
How did I make up 2 movies in my head with?
All right. Question number 4. Who voiced Darth Maul in the Clone Wars? Poor Mike. I know he's kind of fucked on this, but I'd have some Star Wars.
Clone Wars.
You might know this one, though. It's a pretty notable actor. No. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Tommy B, what's your answer? Will Ferrell.
My answer is I forget.
Sam Witwer. So Johnny and Kieran with the answers. One more question left in round 1.
Wait a sec. Wait a sec.
What?
That's not movie trivia.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's a show. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, what the fuck?
Says someone who should have got that fucking question.
Yeah, you should have had that question.
Come on. I've read about him. I've read his name. I just couldn't remember it. But that's not a fucking movie question.
Fake fan. Who played the Punisher in the 2004 version of the movie? The Punisher, aka Frank Castle, aka Kevin Nash, was in that movie.
Let's see how that's an AKA.
As was Will Patton.
John Travolta?
John Travolta. He was good in that movie. I liked him in that movie. All right. Answers in. What do you got, Kieran? I can't see.
Too high. There you
Thomas Jane. Mike, what do you got? Thomas Jane. Johnny?
As was Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane. All right. Tommy B.
Just point to the no answer again.
Yeah, you don't need to keep writing it down.
I already did.
Kieran said fuck trivia, and he had a perfect round 1, and Mike and Johnny only missed once.
Damn it.
Yeah, for a movie I've never seen before, or
All
show,
right.
whatever it is.
Good news. It's about to get easier with these next 5 questions.
Easier?
Yes. Question number 1, round 2, true or false category. Coruscant in Star Wars was not created by George Lucas. True or false?
What kind of fucking question is that?
It's a legit trivia question. Stop your bitching.
Wow.
It was created by him.
Wow.
I'm trying to figure out how it's a movie question.
Because it appears in episode.
That's a movie question. That is a movie question.
The
Planet predates the movie, though.
So, really? That's what you cannot have.
Wait, I'm sorry, Sean. Can you repeat the question? No
Harry Potter questions from now on because the books came out before the movies.
Well, that's not the point I'm trying to make, though, because outside of certain elements, the books stay relatively true to the novels. They don't make shit up. They just leave stuff out.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. The question is, Coruscant, the planet, was not created by George Lucas. True or false? Mike, true or false? I mean, I know you're guessing on this one, but false for Mike. What do you got, Tommy?
False.
Johnny?
I got them both written down to save time, so I'll just point at the one I'm going with.
Okay.
I put true.
Sorry, you're going with false, Johnny?
Yes.
Kieran bitched about the question and was the only one to get it right.
Wait, what?
Timothy Zahn created Coruscant, just like he created Mara Jade. George Lucas some of
Coruscant, as it's
called
in the
shit.
In the live reading of the novel.
Oh, and like the original version of it?
The original audiobook, they call it Coruscant.
It's a fucking old guy who has like no effort in his voice whatsoever to like differentiate the characters.
Shit. I thought the first Coruscant mention was in Splinter of a Mind's Eye.
Well, that's a deep pull. All right, question number 2. The original idea for Halloween H2O included a zombified Loomis. True or false? H2O's original idea in the original draft of the script included a zombified Loomis.
That's some bullshit.
To add a little context, it's in a nightmare-y vision. They didn't actually. Whether it's true or false, though, who knows? I'm not going to tell you guys. You guys still got to answer.
I got my guess because it's 2 letters, and like I said, I already wrote them down. I just got to point the right one.
All right, time's up. Kieran, what do you got?
I put false.
Johnny?
True, because that movie's so fucked up that I think that it's actually something they thought up in the
Calm
original
your tits.
I
process.
feel like it's just going to be
Calm
the
your
second
tits.
idea or something.
Calm down.
Tommy?
I went with true because 50-50 guess, right?
Mike? It's correct. The answer was false. Kieran keeps his undefeated streak, and Mike gets a point, pulling into sole possession of second place. Kieran has 7 points to Mike's 5. Johnny's 4. Tommy's 1. Sorry, Tommy.
I'm number 1. Yeah.
Jason X originally included a Weird Al cameo. True or false? Time's up. Mike, what do you got? I can't see that. False? Tommy B, what do you got?
True.
Johnny?
True, I guess.
Kieran?
I put true.
The correct answer was false. Mike is the only one with a point on that.
Oh, fuck.
And all of a sudden, he's one closer.
All I thought was like, yeah, that seems like around the time.
I was expecting it to be like on a vid screen or something, like they were watching a Weird Al video in space.
Keith is right. Halloween Rob Zombie 2, to be specific, was the movie Weird Al cameoed in. I'm sure he's cameoed in more, though. Tom Cruise was the original choice to play Iron Man. True or false? Five.
By original choice, you mean originally offered?
That's who they wanted. He was their number 1 pick, is what I'm saying. As in, Robert Downey Jr. would not have been the preferred pick. He was a backup option. Mike, what do you got? Mike says true. Tommy V, what do you say?
False.
Johnny? Kieran has true. Johnny has true. Are you true or are you false?
I'm pointing at only false is like way over here.
Okay, well, it looked like you started to make your way over there.
Oh, that's where I was.
All right. The answer is true. So Kieran and Mike again.
Hey,
And Johnny, sorry. Whoops. So the score is now 8-7-5 to 1. I don't think I needed to point that out. Question number 5. Stephen King loves Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining. True or false? Time's up. Mike, what do you got? Mike has false. Tommy B?
False.
Johnny?
false. He hates like everything that's been made of his work.
False. Yeah, correct. Everybody is correct there. And Tommy ends the true or false round getting a second point.
It's a 1 point per round.
Hang on. I'm just going to put your scores beside the ticks here so I can actually read them. Kieran's at 9. Mike's at 8. Johnny's at 6. Tommy's at 2.
Oh.
Tommy's cameoing as Mondo tonight. All right. So
no, his answers have actually been normal. He just hasn't been getting them right.
It's the final round now. There are 4 different categories. Kieran, you get to pick a number between 1 and 4 because you are the leader. If you do not like your category, you can swamp it with another category but you don't get to know what that category is before swamping it. So
I'm sorry, are we playing Yankee category here?
Kinda, but he's the leader, so he has the power. So if he hears his category and doesn't like it, he can choose to move on to
But
another.
he's the only one who gets to swap.
Because he's winning. Yeah, correct.
I picked 3.
Comic book movies.
I'll keep that.
Okay. Mike's in second. I need 1, 2, or 4.
4.
And actually, we'll switch it up. We'll give Mike the option of passing on it too, since he's going second. And Kieran kept his.
What?
4.
Just because you like Mike?
I like you too.
I have a feeling
He
Mike picked
didn't
such a
beat
ridiculous
me.
category for himself that he's
Only
like,
I came
I better
first.
give
How
him an
does that
out
make
here.
any sense?
Mike's not going to switch. His category's horror.
Ha!
I mean, I think you should change. Like, I don't want to say change it, but I think you should set it so that you can't swap if the category is already known.
Correct. Yeah, for sure. Like, you can't then go back and be like, yeah, I want one of the other ones. Plus, Kieran.
Well, I'm saying if like the additional categories are already known. Like theoretically, you could, you know what I mean. Like
if I would have slipped up, or
Tommy could end up with 4 and 2,
Well,
but we already know what 2
place.
is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking go because I'm in
me,
dead.
me, I guess, not Tommy.
I don't get a choice. I just get
Right.
fucked.
I'm saying me, not you.
Johnny, I guess your category 1 or 2.
Uh, 2?
Category of Star Wars. Do you want it or not?
No, I don't want it.
All right, your new category is Halloween.
Oh, I should have stayed with Star
Probably
Wars.
get Star Wars.
Oh man.
Oh, I should have stayed with Star Wars.
Yeah. All right. So, Kieran, you are winning. You can choose if you want to go first, second, third, or fourth. Because this is specifically per person, obviously. Or would you like to go?
Wait, what?
First, second, third, or fourth? When do you want to go?
First.
First. All right. We'll still run through the trivia and see what the score ends up anyway. But Kieran was comic book movies. All right, Kieran.
I assume since we're individuals, we don't need the paper anymore.
You.
If there's no steal option, do we really need to write it down?
There's a steal option.
Okay, well, you haven't said that, so
No, I was getting to it. Give me a second. Kieran, your category is comic book movies. You get 2 questions in this category. You can choose multiple choice. If you answer without multiple choice, your question is worth 3 points. If you answer with multiple choice, your question is only worth a point. If you miss, the other person can steal. If the person who's stealing the question gets it and you don't, but the people that steal, by the way, need to write it down on the piece of paper. If you don't have your answer written down on the piece of paper as Kieran is guessing, so Kieran, give like a 5-second pause before you guess each answer. And then once you finally guess your answer, if you guess without using multiple choice, they have to have their answer down on the paper. It does not count. They can't be like, okay, let's Google here for forever. All right, so let's dive into it. Oh, by the way, if you steal, it's not without Kieran using multiple choice. It's not worth the full 3 points. It's only worth 2 points. So the person who actually has the question is still in the driver's seat.
is it a first come, first serve, or
No,
everybody gets a crack?
You could all steal it.
Okay.
Kieran will have the same opportunity on your guys' questions. So, all right, Kieran, what comic book movie stars Wesley Snipes
Oh, come on!
and Ryan Reynolds?
Seriously?
Blade 3? Blade Trinity?
That's correct for 3 points.
Isn't the final category supposed to be the hard one?
Well, I tried to get them outside of the MCU, right? What comic book movie sees Martin Sheen and Sally Fields play the caregivers of an up-and-coming superhero?
Seriously? Seriously?
The Amazing Spider-Man?
That's correct. All right, Kieran got both of his. 6 points. He's not free though. Like he could still lose this with steals.
The guy just picked up 6 points.
And you guys can steal off of three different people, so you can catch up. He would have to miss on his steals, obviously, but yeah. Mike, what would you like to do? Go second, third, or fourth?
4th.
All right, Johnny, next or second last?
The hell? Let's go next.
All righty, Johnny, in the category of Halloween. You shouldn't have switched, man.
These are going to be like ridiculous. Like Kieran gets softballs, and I'm going to be getting like, name this character whose name is only said once 30 seconds into their scene.
I will say this. Your first question would have been really hard if it didn't come up earlier in the show, and I spaced it out because these were meant for last week, and we only had 3 people last week. So
Make up a new question. Make up a new question.
Question number 1. An early pitch for Halloween 4 included the movie ending at a drive-in movie theater, and something happens to Michael Myers. What is it?
Wow. Yeah, you should have changed that because
Yeah.
Make my Michael grow.
Oh, okay. You got to check a lot of me for that one. Okay. Question number 2. How many years after the events of Halloween 1 and 2 does Halloween 4 take place? 15 seconds. And if you need multiple choice, let me know. 5, 4, 3, 2.
I'll take the multiple choice, but I don't think it's going to help.
All right. 5 years, 7 years, or 10 years?
7.
That is incorrect. Who had the answer down on their paper? Hold it up. 10. Kieran didn't have it. All right. So Tommy B and Mikey Bish get a steal there. It's only worth 1 point each, though, because it was in multiple choice.
If Mike gets his questions now, then he's tied with me. Because he's only 1 behind and he just gained a point.
Yep. But you can still steal more. All right. So Johnny's done for now.
But you picked up 6, so he should still be 5 points behind.
Right. But if he.
No, I'm saying if he gets his.
Oh, okay. No. It's just the way you said it. You said he's 1 point behind. I'm like, no.
No, he was 1 point behind.
Right. Okay.
And then now if he answers his questions, he'll be caught up.
The phrasing was weird because that was the problem. Yeah, you phrased it awkwardly.
Tommy B in the category of Star Trek. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, fuck. That's fucking cool. I don't know shit about Star Trek.
It's Star Wars.
I would have rather that than either of these two, to be honest.
How many Star Wars movies has the character Han Solo been in? The holiday special does not count.
Does deleted content count?
No. 5, 4. If you need multiple choice, let me know. 3, 2.
You didn't have to write it down.
No, you could have just said it. 6 movies.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm moving. What is it? 6?
Yeah, it's 6. Tommy B with 3.
Original trilogy, 2 of the sequels, and Solo.
Yep. All right, Tommy B. What planet does Obi-Wan Kenobi, General Kenobi?
He was in 2 sequels?
Yep.
7 and 9. Ghost scene in
Didn't
9.
he die? He's in 9?
Ghost in 9.
Oh, you
Yeah,
really
but he was still there.
Oh,
Kieran,
yeah.
you
that's right.
Him and Ben on the on Death Star 2.
I get it.
I mean, it's probably the best scene in the entire movie, and yet doesn't make a lick of fucking sense. But okay, how many years after? Oh, that's Johnny's question. What planet does Obi-Wan Kenobi kill General Grievous on? You got 15 seconds. Tommy.
It's Utapau.
Yep, 3 points for Tommy. Tommy, all of a sudden, your score doesn't look too bad. All the way up to 9 points, man. All right, last category here. I'm gonna have to think of some overtime ones on the go if Mike gets this, or if anybody else comes back and ties. Where are we here?
I think Mike's the only one in position 2, isn't he?
So Kieran's total right now is
the most anyone can steal is 4.
Kieran's at 15.
Yeah, Tommy and I are both out.
Tommy's at 9. You're at 9.
Yeah.
And Mike is at 9. Is that right? Yeah, that's right.
Well, Mike has 6 points on the board, so
yeah, Mike's got to answer without multiple choice to have a chance at tying.
Not gonna happen.
So here we go.
Wasn't he only? No, it's Kieran got the steal. Never mind. No, he didn't. So wasn't he only 5 points out?
No, I was 6 points ahead. Sorry, no. I was ahead by 1 going into the final round.
Right, so he's back to
I
6.
got my
Yeah.
So I was ahead 7.
Your gains
picked up
cancel
a
each other
steal.
out, so you're back to.
I'm ahead by 6.
Yeah.
Bill, no, you can discuss whatever you want, Bill. Thanks for coming in and joining us, man. All righty. In the category of horror, What horror/sci-fi movie features found footage and a group of friends trying to escape New York City?
What? See, I don't.
What horror/sci-fi based movie features found footage, like it's only found footage, and it's about a group of friends trying to escape New York City? It's an apocalyptic movie. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up, and your winner.
Are you gonna let me? You gonna let me guess?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you. Oh, Kieran had
You didn't even let me guess.
That's unfortunate because I had it too.
You ran out of time, man. Ran out of time. Who had it? Kieran
and
had
I
it.
both did. Yeah.
If Kieran moves up to 18, we'll still do the next question to figure out score total.
Yeah, I'd like to not be tied with Tommy at the end. So yeah, we need this last question.
No, sorry. Kieran gets 17. Mike gets nothing for that. Tommy, did you have Cloverfield? You did? All right.
Did he? He never. I don't think he showed it. Not that I don't trust you, Tommy, but I'd rather actually be sure that we're
I still don't see it.
I see Fields, so
Cloverfield. I don't know if you can read that or not. Whatever.
I saw Field. Oh, I showed mine when Kieran did.
All right. Somehow Mike just ended up in last place. Here we go. Last question, Mike. The guy who had a shot at a win. What 2000s horror movie features Jensen Ackles and Halloween 3's Tom Atkins?
I don't know that one.
All right. I'll give the other guys 10 seconds to get their answers down. Time's up. What do you have?
That is a long one to type.
Is it My Bloody Valentine? Because that's all I fucking know he was in besides fucking Supernatural.
Kieran, what did you have?
Movie he was in?
No, I didn't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, it was My Bloody Valentine.
Well, at least we didn't tie for last, so I'm
You
okay
tied
with
for
tying with
second.
Tommy, I
Almost
guess.
4 points from the lead.
You know what I love about this whole fucking trivia? You know why I won?
Because I screwed up and
know
switched
Sean.
categories.
These are all questions about movies that he loves.
You are pretty
You love
dead,
Sam
Sean.
Witwer. You love Thomas Jane Punisher. You love Cloverfield.
You know what I don't love? I definitely don't love Blade. I think those movies are fucking terrible. Yeah, I'm completely fine with them rebooting Blade. I thought they were.
I think my knowledge of you had me win this, not my knowledge of the movies.
Maybe. I also don't like Jason X though. So, anyways, you proved your point. That is gonna do it for Fandom Empire Live tonight. Thanks for coming out. 2 hours of fun. It was a good time. Mike almost beat Kieran, then somehow comes in last place in trivia. You'll be happy to not see trivia for another month. Mike, where can everybody find you at, man?
You can follow me on Twitter at @MichaelBish_, even though I'm taking a break for the whole month of January on Twitter. But still go follow me. I'll be back. And then you can follow me on Instagram at @mbish_.
Tommy Bizzle, where can everybody find you at, man?
You can find me hanging around Twitter and Instagram at TommyB1650 and on Facebook at the Fandom Empire Den, Halloween Fandom, and all those other fun places.
Johnny, how about you? What's going on with you, man?
Oh man, you can find me here, there, and everywhere. Bros before pros. The Inside Handoff. Football podcast.
Football, baby. Let's go.
Kieran, where can everybody find you at, dude? I know you don't do social media. You're retired. You're a hermit. We get it. But where can people find you at other than that?
Oh, I don't know. Watching the Bucks win football games.
Super Bowl, to be correct. Super Bowl.
Wow, you guys are gonna watch last year's game again?
I'll tell you what. Anytime your team can make the playoffs when it's supposed to be a rebuilding year and go into the next season with 3 first-round picks, I'll take that all day. So I'm happy.
That Devonta Smith guy looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Doesn't look too small. Doesn't look too small like everybody said he was. But
man, it's not.
He looks really good on the weeks when he's giving me points and helps me win a championship.
It's not football, but I remember when the Leafs that first year had Matthews and Nylander and Marner and Brown and all them.
Yep.
And they made the playoffs and gave Washington a run in the first round and Washington was the President's Trophy winners. I thought, fuck, we finally have a Leafs team that's going to do something. Good times.
I thought they were pretty exciting last year in the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're very exciting. And
I'm not sure I've seen a team fall from grace as badly as your team has, though. Holy
Yeah, that's we lost the best goaltender in the world. It's easy to do.
I don't know if he's the best anymore, but yeah, him and Weber, and I think there's someone else too. They're
Quite a
depleted.
few players.
Aho ran away to Carolina.
Aho was always in Carolina.
Then
You're talking
who
about
am I thinking of?
Cott Kiniemi.
Yes.
Yes.
The guy with the weird name. That guy.
I just knew it was a weird name who played in
Somebody
Carolina. I took a guess.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here at Fandom Empire Live. Be on the look. How about Antonio Brown? No, fuck him. He gets no attention. Fucking useless sack of shit. I'm not just saying.
I had a nearly 1,000-yard season.
So are we just going to start praising all professional athletes who act like cancerous pricks but are talented? You know, who else was that?
I think the only argument for it is just that he fucking obviously took too many head hits, and a lot of people are.
The problem is you kind of knew what you were getting.
Oh,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Tom Brady wanted him.
When Antonio Brown says, "I'm not going out, I'm hurt," you just say, "Fine, sit down and move on."
You can't regret that pickup, though.
I don't think it has anything to do with him being hurt right now.
I'm not saying it does. But I'm saying when that's the excuse he gives, which has been confirmed by multiple, staff and players, you say, "Fine, we'll sit down and let the doctors figure it out."
Hospital clinging to life for one of your children, you don't do what he did in that game.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's fucked.
But I will say,
it's a team sport. I hear you guys hype football all the time. You guys think it's the holy grail, which is cool. I like football. But you know what football is? Team fucking sport. You know what he wasn't? Not a fucking team player. And I've seen the meme going around. Is it Mike Tomlin? Is he the Pittsburgh coach?
Yeah.
The guy deserves an award for putting up with 9 years of that shit. Johnny, you just said it yourself. Sorry, 1 second, guys. You said it yourself. They knew what they were getting into with him. I mean, I think the entire world did.
Well, you can argue and say that it paid off. I mean, he helped you win a championship. Now, I mean, and you didn't have to pay him a lot of money either. So, I think it's a win-win either way. He wasn't going to be there much longer.
He came up big. We were 8-4 when we had I guess 4 games left then, 3 games left, 4 games. And he had 350 yards and 3 touchdowns in those 3 games. So if we didn't have him when other guys went down, we probably wouldn't even have got to where we did. So
he hasn't been the same since Perfect hit him, knocked him out clean cold.
I think that's definitely. I think there's some. I mean, I'm the second least knowledgeable football person here. I watch a lot in the postseason, and I watch here and there on Sundays when I have time. Sundays is usually a busy day for me. It's no one's doubting his talent. There's all sorts of talented athletes that are just incredible talents that go a long way, and what he can do. You just can't do what he did the way he did it. There was no doubt that he was done as soon as that happened on any professional sports team, not just the Bucs.
I think it costs him a lot of things. The money. I think it's going to cost him the Hall of Fame.
I'm sure that guy.
I don't think he ever really had a legit shot at the Hall of Fame.
Ooh, I don't know. You got to pull those numbers and look at that.
If he would have continued performing at that level, then yes, okay.
But then again, they always say that the Hall of Fame voters swear up and down it's about what you do on the field. Well, when they didn't put T.O. in first ballot, that was a lie. So we know all the field issues are taking it in consideration.
Michael Irvin tried to kill a man with a pair of scissors, and he's in there.
I just thought T.O. should have been first ballot. I don't care what anybody says. I mean,
oh yeah,
he was another player like that. Though.
Dumb.
He was, but he never would have done what Antonio. I mean,
he never did this. Like he was a different kind of. He was the prima donna's prima donna.
There's not many athletes.
But once the game started, T.O. was there.
I can think of one hockey player who's done this. I don't know who else has. I'm sure there's basketball players that walked off at some point and been like, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, T.O. was
the Canadians is the big one.
T.O. was a prima donna, no doubt about it, but the effort was always there. I mean, he played for us in the Super Bowl.
Field, but the second the whistle blew on Sunday, he was.
I'll always have respect for him because he put up big numbers for us in the Super Bowl on a broken leg. I can't ask for much more than that.
I will never understand. Like, it's hard to respect Hall of Fames when you get some of the fucking grudges that go on in voting for a lot of Hall of Fame, specifically with baseball. Like, I'm sorry, Barry Bonds should be in the fucking Hall of Fame along with a bunch of those other guys, because you know what? They all did it back then, and you fucking encourage them to do it to raise fucking TV ratings. Everybody knows it.
The part that sucks
Barry Bonds before the steroids was still putting up fucking up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He just turned into fucking.
I think Barry's problem is that he's never said, "Yeah, I did it."
I don't care.
But I wasn't the only one doing it.
I don't care. That's just a little too much.
Let's give our final question here of the night to Byron Weaver. Nice picture of Byron there with Chris Nelson by the looks of it, James Jude Courtney, and it looks like Sean from The Thing with Two Heads. Do I think Halloween Ends will suck? If I had to predict, and it's like worth money on the line, I would say it's not going to be very good. But I hope I'm wrong, because we all want to go and enjoy a really cool movie. Anyways, everybody, that'll do it. We'll have to do a random.
We don't get to answer.
I would agree with that.
Oh, I didn't see him address it to you. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I think it's going to be great.
I would agree.
Is there anything you don't think that's going to be great?
But see, this is a film.
They made two films, and I liked them both. So,
well, this is a film I'm not excited for really much, honestly. Like, I'm interested in seeing it, but the hype level isn't there, so I can easily see myself going in liking it because my expectations aren't that high. But
if they fire the director, or something like that, then that'll be like, oh shit. But it's the people who made two movies I liked. They're making another movie.
I can tell you I'm more excited for Scream. And I'm actually...
Even though we won't get to see it in cinemas. So...
I'm not going to... I don't want to...
Mike doesn't have our problems.
No, but I was going to say that I'm actually going down to Raleigh, watching it Friday night, and then Saturday driving down to Wilmington and looking at filming locations from Scream and Kills. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Let's take a live look at what Tommy B's been doing for the last 5 minutes.
I was trying to figure out this situation because I had heard about it on the radio.
Tommy B was like,
morning.
Who is Antonio Brown?
I've heard of Antonio Brown, but I didn't know the whole situation. I just...
I had to go dig up what does his shit look like.
I had to dig up what the fuck happened, and after looking through all these articles which were made long after that don't even tell you what he actually did, I finally found it. But I heard about it on the radio this morning or yesterday, but I wasn't listening at the time.
I mean, I don't know. I said it in the Football League chat. I sent a meme of it that Antonio Brown rage quitting on the week John Madden passed away is an oddly fitting tribute.
Rough. It's rough. What? So what did he do? He ended up stripping? Like,
he took off his jersey and his pads and just
walked out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I then did jumping jacks in the end zone because my ankle is injured. So I'm going to do jumping jacks.
His whole medical staff and everybody besides
and
him.
again, he walks away from millions of dollars.
Yep. Well, I mean, he's worth millions, though, and he's got a brand. And
he actually only walked away from about a million, but he still had to hit 3 performance goals, one of which I don't think he was going to get.
I don't know. Brady. I felt like Brady would have force feed him to help him out.
Byron says, Michael dies from COVID. LOL. If that happens, if that were to happen, I would never prominently cover Halloween again on any channel I'm part of. It might come up, but it would not be a focus. That would be so fucked.
Oh, man.
Anyways, Byron, that's not a shot at you, buddy. I think that's funny. Good joke. That's going to do it for us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week. Fandom Empire Live. Go Bucks.